Aloha gang, Dr.Russ Rosen here. Welcome to the OHC Facebook community, and we're having a problem that it will not go live. It didn't go live last week either. I checked with ChatGPT and it says lots of people are having this problem. There's a bug. And so if you happen to know Zach, talk to him about it. Tell him that I've got that bug. It's not working, and we'd sure appreciate it if he would do something about it because I know he's a hands-on guy. Um, so today we're going to be talking about bonus appraisal systems or how to do performance appraisals. Um, if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Russ Rosen. I help natural healthcare providers like you thrive in a care versus care, true optimal health model. We are live. We try and be here live 3 Thursdays a month at 1:30 California time. Um, and if I can't go live, I'm just recording it and I'll just post it. Um, if you want more of this kind of information, go to the guides section and there's tons of information. So we're doing performance appraisal this week. Next week, we're going through, we got 2 weeks off, Christmas. And then in January, we start up with how to train the team. Then we go into how to do marketing. Then we go back into the beginning of certainty, communications, consult, exam, report findings, etc. And it's just a 6 month cycle that we do. So again, today we're talking about the performance appraisal system or the bonus appraisal system. And the reality is, if we have a staff, we all want to have an amazing team. We recognize that we can have all kinds of problems with our teams, with our staff members. And whenever I speak with doctors about coaching, I always ask them, tell me your top three challenges. Staff is always one of the top three. So if you take a look at the guide section, we've been through the last 4 or 5 weeks of team stuff. So this is performance appraisal of teams. So the reality is most of us don't know how to do a good performance appraisal, don't even know why we would do a performance appraisal. Maybe we've tried them in the past and they backfired on us, where we've hurt their feelings or they've quit because they thought that we're beating up on them, blah, blah, blah. If you want to sustain growth and you're going to use a bonus system that works, which is what we went through last time, then you really need to know how to do these performance appraisals. So I asked my friend ChatGPT, I said, why would natural healthcare providers do performance appraisals? Well, what's the benefit of doing so? And I'm going to go over some of that information. I'm always amazed at the great information it comes up with that most of us really don't do in all cases. So the performance appraisals, they're essential in fostering a productive and engaged workforce. If I want a team that's working together, the one before we went into teams, how to build a dream team, the 6 steps, etc. But especially for our type of healthcare practices, excuse me, our team is a huge piece of the puzzle that's going to really lead to the type of practice that we want, that's going to lead to the kind of happy patients that we want. They need to really, be on board, have our philosophy, understand what we do, the value of what we do, because they also are communicating with the patient. So here's some of the reasons why it's so important. Upsides and downsides. Upsides, it improves communication. So it encourages a dialogue between you and your staff and between your staff and you. It gives them an opportunity to voice their concerns and for you to voice your concerns, share ideas, and then receive constructive feedback both ways. It strengthens the relationship by demonstrating that you, the doctor or management, values their contributions. That's a team when we value their contributions versus I'm the king and you're the serf and you're going to do what I told you to do. It just doesn't work. So remember that the last thing we want is for our staff to just do their job, not to think. I'm just going to do what I was told to do. Piece of paper on the floor. I'm not going to pick it up. Why not? It's not my job. There was a frayed wire. Well, I don't do anything about it. Why not? Well, it's not my job. I need team members who are and feel like they're paraprofessionals. They're always aiming to do their best. They're always looking to grow and evolve the team and the processes and the systems. Um, and we need the team to be honest with us about how we're performing and what we're doing. Because if they think that you are the problem, no matter how hard you try and get them to make appropriate changes, they won't do it because they're going to think, well, it doesn't matter what I do. You're always running late. That's why patients don't come back. You're always hurting people. That's why they don't come back. It's not that I don't sharpen pencils well enough, right? So it's really important that both ways we're able to have this conversation. It's really critical for us to have aligned goals. You'll remember 3 or 4 times ago, we talked about mission, vision, purpose, all the way down, all the way down, all the steps, through marketing and values and all the steps, all the way down to what are our aligned goals. And they really need to be aligned with no contradictions between them. We want to recognize them. We want to reward their achievements. Remember, reward the behaviors that you want. That's just human 101. It's how it works. It's going to help identify the areas that we need to develop, the areas that we need to train upon. So a couple of times ago, we were looking through how to set objectives and how to set goals. By the way, if you want my entire program, just put goals below. I'll send you my entire goals program, which is really killer. But if we want to figure out where to focus next, this performance appraisal really helps us figure that out. Let's not waste time on things that aren't important. How to sharpen pencils. Let's work on the most important, highest priority next thing that's going to make the biggest change, either as far as reorganizing so we're ready to grow or we're in a growth phase. Um, Obviously, it enhances accountability. It gives you a way to evaluate the performance and address the concerns for us and for them. It encourages your employees to take responsibility for their work and for their improvement plans that we're coming up with. And yes, it needs to be structured. It needs to be formal. So many of us just kind of do willy-nilly between patients, especially if we're family members. Like I have my wife working with me, and it's like, well, we talked about it on the way home. No, it needs to be formal. Um, it'll increase retention. And we know, look, it's devastating. It can cost us 3 times somebody's annual salary if we have to fire them and, go through all the problems and then fire them and then retrain, rehire, all that kind of thing. So it leads to a whole lot more job satisfaction. It supports fair compensation decisions. We've talked about merit-based bonuses, that kind of thing. And the only way that's going to happen is if we are able to understand where they're at in their process and to be able to do a good appraisal of them so we know where they're at and where they need to improve upon. Again, the last thing you want to do is give bonuses because you've been here a year. You've been here, you're doing a horrible job. Why do I want to give bonuses? Well, you're doing a great job. We're serving more people, saving more lives, making more money. I think that you should share in the profits. We talked about that last time in the bonuses. And we're just looking for continuous improvement. And that's what we really want as a team that really wants to continually grow and evolve. And again, I recommend the book, The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber for chiropractors. There's one says for chiropractors. And it's just remember, if you're doing everything right, if everybody's doing everything right, the practice will grow. If the practice grows, your present system will not support your future growth. So we're always having to reevaluate. Yeah, I can answer the phones within 2 rings. We're seeing 10 people a day. Can you answer it within 2 rings at 100 people a day? At 1,000 people a day? No, you can't. So, we're always having to go back and take a look at what used to be doing really good. I got to grade myself an A. It's not an A anymore. That's where I need to fix it. If I can just keep fixing it at a B, it never gets to a C or a D or an F. C, Ds, and Fs crash the practice. A to a B, find it, you can fix it. Okay. So downsides of doing performance appraisals, they're time consuming. There can be subjectivity and bias. A lot of team members will feel that you're being unfair to them, but really giving someone else a big break. Um, it's potential for demotivation because they feel that you're attacking them. So don't attack them. Do it right. Do it the right way. Um, it may not reflect day-to-day performance if you do them once a year. So in my world, we're not doing it once a year. We're setting quarterly objectives. We're taking a look at it. But as soon as I have finished one of the objectives, we're right back on that form. So we've got this form, performance appraisal form of the employee. These are the behaviors that we look at, and then these in the next page are the tasks that they do. So if they grade themselves all A's and you agree, within a couple of weeks it won't be because the practice is going to grow. But if there are areas where there are problems, then those are the areas where we're going to focus. Obviously, if they grade themselves an A and you think it's an F, there's mismatched expectations. So there's a lot of nuances to this that I'll be going over in the club on Thursday at 11 o'clock. If you want access to that, just put club below and I'll give you access for a month. We meet live and discuss this. I don't lecture at you, but we are in Zoom and we have a discussion. And we go into way, way, way more detail. It's a full hour discussion on this. But those are the things you would. So let's assume that I knew that one of the main things I need to work on is this particular software, and that's a goal. Well, by the end of next week, I've got that wired. So what am I going to work on next? Well, I've got my objectives. I wrote out my 5 objectives that I'm working on. And let's say we get to those 5. Now what? Well, you just go back to this. Just take a look. A quick skim is going to show me where to focus next. Um, it can create stress. You can feel a lot of anxiety and anxiousness. So many people have done it before and felt burned, which is why you need to do it right. And of course, there's potential for miscommunication. Um, your feedback is being misunderstood, so you have to learn how to do it the right way. You want to sandwich it, the bread, the meat and the bread, the how well they're doing in certain things, what we need to improve upon, asking them what their thoughts are, what they think they need to do, etc. And then, of course, what we love about them. Some of the best practices these to do these right, maximize the upsides and minimize the downsides. Be transparent. Be very clear about the purpose and the process and the criteria for the appraisals. Again, we go through all of that on Thursday in the club. And of course, we post the recordings if you can't make it. You want to use objective metrics. So we're going to combine the quantitative data, which is the metrics, numbers, how'd you do on your referrals, and did you get this done, all that kind of stuff, with qualitative assessments. So again, I have all of this on behaviors. How is their teamwork, the ability to resolve conflict, work as a team, accomplish the goals, initiative, the drive to get the job done, attitude, displays a positive, friendly, energetic attitude towards the doctor, employees, and patients, blah, 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 blah. So you obviously want to make sure you have one of those for each position that, right? And that would be the person in the position. Um, you've got to deliver the balanced feedback. So highlight the strengths and achievements before doing the meat of it. So sandwich, as I had mentioned, you want to set up clear expectations. You must agree upon actionable goals for the future. We agreed that this is a challenge. So I'm really clear with them. This isn't for me to hammer you or to beat you up or to do this so I don't give you a bonus. This is how can I best support you? And in my world, if they're having challenges, it's not their fault, it's your fault. You didn't train them right. If you trained them right and they're still having challenges, that's different. Then we got to figure out, are they the right person for the job? If so, figure out what the issues are. And that's where we use our action plan for improvement form. So we clarify headspace issues. Do they understand the importance of doing this? Do they want to do this? If either of those are no, forget showing them how to do it. It won't work, right? What are the benefits to them? What are the benefits to the organization? One of the benefits is they get to keep their job, right? Like I need them to know if you're not able to do this, I'm going to need to find somebody else to do it and let you go. I'm literally on that form going to write that out and say by next week, if this isn't done, I'll need to let you go. And then I'll let them know I love you. I want you to stay. I owe it to you. So often what happens is you're going through all this in your head, but you never tell them. And you walk in one day all pissed off and you fire them and they're shocked, right? They should never be shocked. You wrote it out. They come in, they look at you and say, look, you're right. I'm not right for this job. Here's the key kind of thing. So there's a lot of nuances in this to do it right. Again, I'll be going into great detail in the club. Let me know if you want access to the club and to the live calls. We want to foster a growth of mindset. So we're going to frame feedback as an opportunity for development, not criticism. I'm always looking, I'm always pulling for them. I'm always looking at what can I do to best support them until I'm not. So I've been very clear of what needs to happen. I'm supporting them. I'm doing everything I can to help them be successful. And then we set a goal. And if they can't do it, and they know that if they can't do it, I'm going to need to get somebody else, and that's the end. I talk with doctors all the time that will tell me, I'll say, okay, tell me about your office manager. And they'll say, she's been with me 28 years. And I'll say, grade her. And they'll go D. And I'll say, D? Well, when did it get bad? Well, it's never been good. She's always been horrible. For 28 years? Like I hear this all the time. In my world, it's 2 to 3 weeks at most. Clarify an issue, bring it up, see if they understand it, come up with a plan. Didn't get done. Well, right? Something happened while I was in the hospital. Okay, reasonable excuse. I just didn't get to it. Oh, okay, my bad. I should have been more clear. If this isn't done by next time, I'll need to let you go. Sign it. Right? Sometimes they'll stop right there and just say, I'm done. Fine, great, move on. Let me find someone who wants to do this. Or they now know you're not kidding around. At least half the time, they finally know you're not kidding around, and they finally now know exactly what you want from them. And again, in the action plan for improvement form, again, we'll be going through that in the club. The first thing I do is have them write out what the goal or the objective is. Over 50% of the time when they write it out, it's not what you thought. And so you say, well, they wrote out, you want me to do one and two. And I go, no, I wanted you to do one, two, and three. I'm so upset. Every week you never get three done. And they're looking at you going, when did you say to do three? And you're saying, are you crazy? Like for 8 months, we've been talking about this. Well, they never heard it. So really important. We're doing things right. Um, Let me see. Last thought on that is just to ensure consistency. We want to apply the same standards to all of our staff. It builds trust. It builds credibility. When we do this thoughtfully, these tools can lead to better satisfaction, better quality care for your patients. And one of the great things, and for us, we have the performance appraisal form of the employee and of the doctor. So they're doing one of you too, right? If you're showing up late and they think that's why the practice won't grow, forget about getting them to do whatever you're trying to get them to do. They're just not going to do it. So I hope that helps. If you know Zach, do me a favor, talk to him. Tell him that Russ Rosen and his group is not able to go live, that there's a bug and it needs to be fixed. So I'll go ahead and post this. If you have any questions, go ahead and post questions below. I will answer them. If you know other people you think would find value in this, please send them over. It's free. If you would like access to the club, let me know. We have 2 weeks off. Then we're going into 2026. That happened. We'll be doing the training team, how to train your team and continually train your team. Then we'll be going into marketing. Then we'll be going into flow and growth, everything from, how to schedule all the way up to, bringing on associates. And then we go back into certainty and communications. So, if you would like our goals program, I'm going to be posting that and sending it out. It's a killer goals program. We sell it for $400, but I will give it to you. Just put goals below it. I'll send you our entire program. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday, that you take some time to rest, regenerate, recuperate, recover, have a rip roar and a great time. Lots of R's there. And that you also take time to reflect. Take a look at what 2025 brought you, What did you bring to 2025? Do you want 2026 to be the same? Do you want it to be better? Set your goals. Get clear about what worked. Do more of it. Get clear about what didn't work. Stop doing it. Okay. Hope you found value. As always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.